I'm here in my maple jungle, Japanese maple jungle, and I'm going to show you what we are going to do. I think I may have shown you some of these shots in an earlier video, but let me continue the process by taking you through the different stages of growing maple bonsai. These maples, please pardon the grass, look at this. All these grasses are about 2-3 foot high. We've had so much rain in the last week and they've gone berserk. Now let's look at some of these ones. If you home in closely, you will see how thick the trunk is. Look at the trunk on that. It's at least 3 or 4 inches nebari at the base, and it's got a potential taper here, and there's another 3 or 4 feet here. And then I think if we go the whole height, some of these other trees, they're more than 12 feet high. Let me begin by starting from this side. This one I pruned about a month ago, but because we've been so busy, we didn't have time to go through all the others. But you can see the potential bonsai here. Look at this one, beautiful S shape. So I could have terminated the tree here and then make this into a bonsai. In fact, I will do that now. Let me just prune this. I've got such a lot, it doesn't matter, because I've always been conscious of trying to air layer more and more. But because the potential here is quite, the leader is quite clear, let me just show you what I'll do. I could have air layered this part, but forget it. Now, this is our trusty old 3 foot lopper. I'm going to just prune the top off. There you go, timber. All that, it could have been air layered to make a beautiful bonsai, but forget it, I've got enough. So, you can see what I've done there. And then there's a big branch at the back. That could also have been air layered. But I won't bother about that because I want to show you the process of making this into a bonsai. So, I'm going to prune these. And that big fella at the back, I will use the saw for that. Just comb in on that tree. In case I didn't tell you before, these trees have only been 10 years in the ground. 10 years from being a very tiny seedling. This I thought was the potential front, and I thought that big lump of a branch spoils this line. But before I do anything, let me go from that side. If you go on that side, please, Tyler, and you look at it, you can make it like a twin trunk tree high up. Those of you who remember my split trunk maple, that has a fork quite high up there. So I could even do that and use this as the front. So before I go too far, I could have used this. Now, this is only for illustration purposes. So I could cut this off. This is our favorite chainsaw. Now lump off, so you can see this line, this nebari is very nice here. So I can have like a twin trunk tree like that, like my split trunk maple, and use this as the front. Don't worry about that partial cut I made there, that can heal. So I could have used this. Now taking a decision, I see that the nebari on this side is better than the other side. If we go to the other side, I'll explain to you why. The other side, the nebari is not so nice. If you look at it here, that root going back on itself is very ugly. So this doesn't make it a good front because the nebari there is bad. Unless you grow it on and let it fuse like that. But if I use this as the line and use this as the front, this is not so good. So taking all things into consideration, I will probably use this as the front, looking from there into here. So this is how I would train this tree. And then I can get rid of some of these branches. I've got to bear in mind not to let too many branches grow from there, because if you let too many grow from there, you can get what is called inverse taper. So that also has to be borne in mind. So we can do some rough pruning. So the future of the bonsai is going to be this tree here, looking like that. So I've decided this is the better side. So I've taken a careful decision to do it this way. Now let's look at another one. Now this one, again, it is forked from there. It's a bit difficult, but because it's rather forked, I will probably let it grow a little more and then see what happens. Let's get some of these crossing branches off. Look at it, left to their own devices, they go in all sorts of ways. Again, there are all sorts of potential fronts that I can consider. You must be saying, what a lot of waste over here, but don't worry, when these branches grow like this, they feed back into the tree and make the tree strong. Now this one, I think I will cut that off because the front is where I'm standing. I will show it to you in a minute. And probably I will cut that branch off as well. We don't use any bonsai tools, make note. And I'm not too worried about cutting flush to the joint, because if you leave a little stub, it dies back to that point, and then you won't get it dying back into the leader. So if you look from here, this is a potential bonsai, looking at it like this. And then we can let all the branches grow again. So this is how we form this one. So the structure of the tree is here. Now let's look at the next one. See, in a row of three, they all go at different rates. Now you must be wondering why this is so thin. Look at it. It is barely 3/4 of an inch thick, whereas that one is about 3 or 4 inches thick. And believe it or not, they're all the same age. It just shows that some people are short, some people are tall. Same with trees. In the same place, you can get a tree growing in completely different growth rates. So again, this is going to be a tall, slender tree. Remember that maples are really very elegant looking trees. So you don't always have to have maples with thick trunks. So this can make a nice slender maple like that. So I'm not bothered about that one. Now let's look at this one here. Every tree is unique. That's why it's so interesting. So if I look at this tree from here, if we come from this side, again, you can either look at the tree from that side or this side, depending on where the curvature or line is. I think this nebari here is very nice over there, so I can probably look at it using this as the potential front, and it's got a bit of movement there. And then because there's so much tree growing further up, I can air layer it rather than, because there's such a lot here, rather than waste all that, I will air layer it from somewhere here. So I'm not going to cut this hard back. Keep control of the branches, because if I let these grow too big and too thick, they will cause inverse taper. So this could be a leader, so I'm going to air layer somewhere here and get another tree from there. While I'm here, let me look at these ones at the back there. This is also interesting. Now this one's got such interesting leaf below there, I don't know why. And yet the top of the tree is of a different leaf shape. Look at it. From the same tree. We did some air layering there, so that's already had some work done to it. So we've had our money's worth from this tree. So this tree, we can probably use the thicker of the two, or you can air layer there and get a twin trunk, double trunk. So again, there's another thin tree over there. So as I say, some trees grow thick, some trees grow thin. So every tree presents an interesting design dilemma, if you can use that word, because you have a choice. So here again, I probably be a bit stingy and probably earlier here to get, if I could show you here, that would make a lovely twin trunk tree over there. I could earlier there to get a twin trunk and then use the base for something else. And if you can look at the undergrowth, there's another interesting tree here. You see what I mean by being a jungle? It's absolute jungle. You see, that's a lovely twin trunk there. So this is what we call field growing of maples. Field growing maple bonsai. So you can see the structure already forming. I could stop the tree either here, at this point, get a new leader here, and airlay that part. So again, there are so many options. Too good to waste, so we can airlay that one from there. Now let's look at some of the bigger ones, because these were pruned back a month ago, but some of them are completely unpruned. Look at this tall tree, for instance. Look at that, that's about 12 foot high. 12 foot high, I've got to do something with this. Again, if we look at it carefully, there's very interesting things going on here. And the trunk is ever so interesting. Now this branch here, growing at the base, it could either become a nice twin trunk, or I can use it as a sacrificial to thicken the base. Look at the nebari there already. See, because they were planted so close, some of the trees have died as well. Look at that. That was airlaid, that was airlaid. So look at all these thick trunk trees here. That will help to thicken it. So now this one, too good to waste. We could airlay several trees from this one and just end up with something there. So I won't waste it. Rather than just cut it as a stump, I will wait for it to grow more and airlay that. So we can let's tidy the top up a little bit. So, the more I look, the more I find. I will follow this up with an air layering exercise, show you how we air layer these different parts. Maybe don't go at that far. So let's prune some of this at the top, so at least we can see where we are going. Otherwise we won't be able to even see it. So that could make a twin trunk. That could even make a twin trunk. You notice I'm wearing gloves in case I cut my finger. It's a bit dangerous. I think we will take some of these off. Because we're in the middle of summer, these trees are going to grow at the rate of knots. Look at all that waste there. I could have got several air layers from it, but I can't keep making air layers forever. So let's bite the bullet and cut some of them. And then this one, I can cut back here. There. Look at that. Look at all that waste. Hundreds of cuttings or several air layerings, but we can't have them all. that's the structure of that tree. It may not look like a bonsai, but in my mind's eye, my vision is that it will be a bonsai in the future. This is where, if you don't have patience, bonsai can be a difficult game. You have to be patient. You've got to exercise patience. Now some of these I can cut. Not doing very much. Now let us, some of those, again I'm always looking for like forks there, but that can be air laid. This would be air laid and make a nice tree. It's got a lovely movement there. Even that can be air laid, so let's lop some of them. Maybe that has got potential for a leader. The more you look, the more you can see. So I'm always looking to see where there is potential. Now my eye has suddenly homed in on this one, and over there there's some conflicting choices that could be made. So over here there's a fork, it can make a twin trunk, but this is coming back on itself unless I make the twin trunk there. But if I cut this off, don't worry about these scars because they do heal. And when they heal, they make the thing look gnarled, and it could add character to the tree. So that will be a twin trunk. So I can either do a twin trunk there and nail it, or cut it back there and just get a single trunk tree. The further you look, the more twin trunk possibilities there are. So maples always fork. And where they fork, it lends itself to the twin trunk style. Now over here it's a bit congested, so let's see what's going on here. The maple has twisted itself. I got to deal with all of them, so it's no good just ignoring it. We've got to deal with it. That's a nice stumpy one. It could make a nice stumpy broom. Look at the thick trunk there. Absolutely beautiful. Because we airlaid the top there already 2 years ago. Put this back here. This is a single tree. But if I didn't want that to grow too tall, I'll show you what I can do. You see that's got a nice bend there. I could cut it there and get a short stumpy tree. So although I know I can make an air layering, but I won't. So you see what I've done here? This is going to be the future bonsai. A nice short tree with a bend like that. So this tree also has potential. This got a beautiful curve here. So why waste it? So I'm going to make use of that. So every tree is so interesting. So in the space of just 6 feet, I've come across so many little gems here. If you come this side, I'm going to show you what I'm cutting here. So over here, that fork there, I'm going to cut off because I want a better line and a better leader. So I get rid of that. And you can look at the tree from here. If I air lay the tree, I can get a very nice curvy bonsai there. And if I just tidy the top a bit, you can see the line better. You can always clean this up and clean that up. See, left to their own devices, maples grow in all sorts of weird different directions which you don't want, and you have to control it. Look at all the debris. Look at all the debris we've cut. So much we've cut. So that's not all. So although this may look a jungle, while it's growing as a jungle, it's really producing lots of beautiful features in the tree. So if you look at it carefully here, look at that beautiful curve on this one. That's the line of this tree. And then I can air it from even here, and then the base is still going to be interesting. So this is how we analyze all the trees. So again, if we look at this one is weird there. This is not going to do much unless I air lay that and air lay that and get a curve from there, because this is ugly. Over here, that's very ugly. You can't do much with that one, but I can air lay the tree from here and get like a twin trunk and then cut this off or go higher up. But if I don't want to wait, I can, or if I create the tree this way, this can be the leader for this tree if it is air laid. So many interesting things going on. See, I don't want to cut this off. I would have cut this off normally, but see the potential there for air laying. Beautiful tree up there that can be air laid. So never take decisions in a hurry. You might regret it. So that I would use for air laying. So there's a lot of potential air layering there. And if we just proceed a little more, I don't want to spend too much time. Let's look at all these trees. They've all gone very close because we thought they wouldn't be here for that long, but I decided to keep it longer. I think some of these roots have fused together. We have to dig it up with a digger in the winter or the spring, and where it is fused we may make them as a single tree. But meanwhile, let me just see how I tidy up this tree, because it's a very good example of what we should do with it. There's a lot of congestion here. A lot of congestion going on. Let's bring the secateurs or loppers. I'm afraid that if you get too many branches going from one point, this is going to cause inverse taper, so I'm going to get rid of that. Get rid of that. So that's like a twin trunk. I'm not bothered about that. This tree could have died because it's too close. This is what we call stinging nettles, nasty stuff. Oh, a lot of stinging nettles. That's why I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt, in case I get stung with the nettles. Although I spend a lot of time in the office, this is what I enjoy doing most. Of course, if there's not enough light, you can get dye back of the branches. Again, looking at this, I was going to chop it hard back, but again, there's potential for air layering. So this tree can be air layered over here certainly, and air layered there as well. And then we can utilize this part and this part as the future tree. So I'm not going to rush to cut it all off. So we can air layer that, and air layer higher up as well. So there's several air layers there. Within bounds, we will do some pruning so that at least we can see what we are doing. Otherwise it's so congested you don't even see the trees or the weeds. Okay, this is a bit scrawny, so I can cut that off. So this one, that stump is there, so I can make it like a informal upright broom style. Too many there. Don't want them all. And we got too many there. As you say, I can't air layer everything. I'll air layer only the really potentially nice ones. Look at the weeds, fine weeds, convolvulus. But no harm. As long as the trees are growing and they're making trunk, we don't care. So the object at this stage is really to make big trunks, bulk up the trunk. When I say big, not big. So again, I've got to see here what is there. If it is really potentially worthwhile, I will then air layer. If not, I won't. So this is interesting at the top. Would make a very nice multi-trunk, what we call kabudachi here, so we can air layer this part. See, that would make a lovely tree from there. So that would be air layered. And then eventually we can get down to the base there. So not wasting that one. This one split. Well, nature takes its own course. Look at the weeds, find weeds. You look at all those precious trees there. Look at those gorgeous thick trunks. Just 10 years work. So they all have potential. I think we better thin some of them. It's too thick. Oh. What's the camera? I know I should have spaced them out more, but it's an experiment. We planted them close and they seem to work, so I'm not too bothered. So the object now is to thin the trees so that I can let more light into the structure. We said that wherever there's a fork situation, they're going to be layered as twin trunk trees. So that's the object. So the rest is going to be thinning the tree. I won't film this, but we are going to go with secateurs and just thin them out. So this is early July and my cosmos is growing wild. Everything is looking lush and green. But I thought I'd show you what we did yesterday when we were pruning the maples, tidying up the maples, and in just a couple of hours we did so much work that we cleared almost the entire jungle of maples. So we have a lot of maples on the nursery. We love maples, and virtually all the maple bonsai except the small Deshojos that we have in the nursery are actually produced here. So, not a sunny day. I hope the colors are vibrant, even in the shade. It's a cloudy day again. And I will now show you what we have managed to do in just a couple of hours. And this is the debris that we pruned. Look at it. Look at all that. All this has been pruned. We did take out some big stems because we decided that we didn't want everything air layered, so we've had to take some down. So there you go, and you can now begin to see the trees. Some of them, that one's got a 2.5 to 3 inch diameter trunk, so that's going to be a lovely bonsai. Some of these are only about 1 inch thick, and so it goes on. These are all the field-grown bonsai, and that one is exceptionally thick. It's got 4 or 5 inch diameter trunk, and that's still about 8 feet tall. So you can see what we've done here, and now that we've given it a light prune, I only call it a light prune because we could have pruned harder than that, we can see what we are doing, and we're going to clear the rest. So this is the pile of debris that we cleared out from inside the maple grove, and there's more weeding to do, and I will show you progressively as the year goes by what we continue to do with these maples. And of course, come the winter or the spring, late winter, early spring, we will bring a mechanical digger and dig out these maples. We can't let them grow in here forever. So I hope this is a useful insight into what we do on the nursery. We've got other plants as well. We've got the shojos. These were mainly air layered trees. So there you go.